Hello everybody, Diesel Johnny Boy here. Bit of an update for you on the Petter PC1. If any of you are interested, I'm just going to tell you what stands on that. Sorry about the noise again on the road behind me. It's quiet and then suddenly I press record and suddenly a load of bloody cars appear. Typical, eh? Never mind. Anyway, I hope you can understand. Not typical, isn't it? And a bloody van goes past. Right. It's just amazing that I was here and there was no traffic. Right, anyway, sorry. Listen, I want to talk to you about removing flywheels. Can be a problem. I'd almost given up on this one actually. I thought, well, I'll leave it on. I didn't really need to take it off for mechanical reasons because I can't change the main bearings because you can't get any for this engine. And I think, to be honest, it didn't seem to have too much play there, so I was going to leave it. But then, it's very heavy and difficult to manoeuvre with flywheels in place. Even these are only quite relatively small engines, the flywheels are very, very heavy, as a lot of you will realise. So anyway, just for a few people that don't know too much about removing flywheels, I thought I'd do a short video. I mean, on the Lister engines, like the SRs, LRs, LDs and STs, they normally come off quite well because they seem to have a steeper taper on the crankshaft, and there's a big bolt which you can often have to hit with a chisel to get it off because you can't get unless you haven't got a big socket to get on it, and then give it a tap with a copper hammer and they normally just pop off. But this is a Petter engine and it's proved a little bit more tricky to get off. So basically what I did actually manage to get the nut off. That came off quite easily actually. I did try knocking it off with the copper hammer, hitting the nut, trying to shock it off. They got like a wood rough key, but nothing happened. So I've been working WD-40 around it for 2 weeks I reckon, and hoping bits of it all sort of slowly percolating. I tipped it back a bit and then I decided to try and extract it off using a hub puller. There's one here I've got here, I'll show you. This is just a standard hub puller. You can buy these off eBay for about 7 or 8 quid. We got one on situ here. On this engine there are 4 bolt holes here, you can see them in here. There's 4 going around which hold the starting dog in there, so you can take those out. I think Petter would have had a proper tool, probably a circular piece of steel, so you pull on all 4 holes, but I was only pulling on 2 holes, which causes a bit of lateral movement, but it did actually come off alright amazingly. So basically I've got some studding. When you buy these hub pullers they normally come with a range of bolts, but they're normally metric, which isn't much good if you've got the older engines. These use 5/8 of an inch bolts. So I got myself some studding, screwed that in there, put the extractor in, took the nut off. On the end of these extractors they normally got like a tapered thing, or like something that doesn't damage the thread. Petter had already drilled the shaft out to take that into the end of the crankshaft so you don't damage the thread. Basically you just put it in position, or after you've taken the retaining nut off and washer, and basically wind it in, trying to keep everything as level as possible and it, centered. See what happens. You could have to. This could take a few days, so don't put too much pressure on it. Otherwise, you'll end up bending things. I mean, these bolts already started bending, to be honest. But so I thought I'll wind it up, see what happens. I wound it up 2 or 3 times. You can give this a bit of a whack, but just be careful. The end of the puller. Be careful. But I did it, and then suddenly there was a pop, and she came off, and the flywheel's actually loose. So that was really good. I was very pleased about that because I can't really clean the thing properly with the weight of this flywheel. I can't move the engine around because these, like I said, these are so heavy. The flywheel is one of the probably the heaviest part of the engine, and it does cause a lot of problem for manoeuvring. If you've got a bit of a bad back, because these things are seriously heavy. So now I've got the flywheel off, I can also I can also remove this shroud which goes around the cowling, because the cowling seems to be trapped by the flywheel. There's obviously some retaining bolts holding the flywheel in, so we can get that off now. I'll see if I can get the flywheel. This is the first time I've removed it. It popped the other day, but I was waiting to do the video to show you all. So let's just undo this bolt. There we are, there's the flywheel. A big old heavy lump of metal. Oh, there she is. But as we can see behind, look, there we can see the 6 bolts holding this aluminium cowling on. So that'll come off really easy now, and I can give that a good clean up, because you can see how greasy and dirty it is. So it'd be nice to give that a good clean, and yeah, make the engine so much lighter. Take it in the house when the wife's not looking. She'll probably find out. And I can give it a good old paint up the block, that is. So there we go, that is your update on that side of things. So yeah, these little hub pullers, they do work. Very good. Very pleased with that. Came off fine. Obviously, if you want to get your flywheel off and it's of this design, that's what you can do. There's the 4 holes, there's the 2 I used. If you're really clever, you could have made yourself a circular piece of steel and put 4 holes in it, drilled them in, and with a centre bolt, and it would have probably drawn out more evenly. But as it was, it worked okay. So there we go, brilliant. And there's the rest of her. Flipped most of the bits off. The piston was almost ready. The piston's been re-welded. There's a big chunk missing out of it, and it's been re-machined for the piston grooves for the piston ring, so that'll be back soon from Jim. Thank you, Jim Perkins, for helping me out. Jim is an ex-employee of Petter's, and he's good on helping us people restoring these older engines. He's a wealth of knowledge, so I appreciate your help, Jim. Now I'll just show you something in the house quickly. Take that glove off a minute. Right, let me show you something I've got in here. I'll show you some parts I've been painting up. Well, there's an Evans hydraulic ram pump there. That's a nice 1920s one, that one. Well, here's my new assistant, by the way. This is Daisy. She's our little 10-week-old kitten. She's been giving me a hand. Although more of a hindrance, because she puts fur in the paint. There she is. Right, Daisy. Here are some of the parts I've been painted up. Cleaned them all up, got them all nicely painted. What have we got here? We got the fuel tank, some cowling, tank straps. There's the starting dog I was talking to you about. That bolts over those 4 holes, and that's for starting the engine. There's a starting handle there. Oh, here's the cylinder head. Now, on the Petter PAZ1 and the PC1, and maybe some of the others, they have on the inlet, they've got like a split pin, which keeps that particular inlet valve in a certain way, because it's got like a bit of a swell chamber, swell thing on it, which sends the air a certain way, I guess, when it sucks it in. Yeah. A little interesting thing. There's it's one of the side plates, inspection plates with dipstick on it. Yeah, tank brackets. Yeah, it's coming together really nice. I'm very pleased with it. I've given it like I've had a couple of coats of red oxide and a couple of coats of this Petter green paint. I got this green paint off eBay actually. It's supposed to be heat proof. It's stuff the military use, so I've never used it before, but yeah, see how it goes. It seems to be brushes on quite nicely. I used to like spray paint the stuff, but it's such a pain in the winter time. You cannot do it. My wife will only accept so much, and it stinks the whole house out, the spray paint. I actually took these parts to my ex-wife's house, and she let me do it at her house because she doesn't mind old engines and things. So yeah, thank you, Harvey, for letting me take them back to your house to paint them. Sounds a bit weird, doesn't it? We're all friends though. Anyway, so brilliant. Next time I see you, I'm going to talk about the bump clearances when you do your bump clearances on your diesel engine, and you'll need like micrometers and things like that to do your bump clearances. Yeah, that's about it really. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch up with you all soon, and thanks for watching. Take it easy. Oh, hi, by the way, hello to Brian. Brian, who's just moved from Pennsylvania to Florida. I hope you're getting on, Brian. I'll send you an email soon. See how you're getting on. Let me know. Hope you enjoy this video. It's dedicated to you, Brian, because I know you like my videos. And here's Daisy. Look, Daisy, say hello to Brian. Anyway, there she goes. She's not interested. She's too busy. There she is. She's a sweetie. She's only like 10 weeks old. All right, Daisy. Right, anyway, I'll see you guys later. Cheers.